The next thing that we're going to do is create our home page, and this is where the magic starts to happen, as they say. So what we're going to do here first is we are going to set the page that we made called home to our home page. I know that sounds super funky, but we made a page right here and it's called home. And this is just like the about page or any page, but we need to set our home page to the actual home page, if that makes sense, and it will as soon as we do it. So just click on customize at the top left and click on general and click on static front page at the bottom of all that on the left, and then click a static page. So instead of displaying your latest blog post like we are right now, it's going to display a static page. So a static page, and the front page is going to be, you guessed it, the home page. All right, so now it's a page, your home page is a page that we made called home. We can just as easily set the home page to the services page or the contact page or even the terms of use page, but obviously we're going to set it to the page that we named home just because that makes it easy. All right, once we do that, we can save and publish, and we can exit out of here. Now I know what you're thinking. You're saying, Tyler, look at this ugly sidebar that we have on the side right here. If you go to Skype or Airbnb, we don't see this ugly sidebar on the side. How do I get rid of that? And that is super easy, and you're totally right. Good websites don't have that. So all we have to do is click on Edit Page, and we scroll down right here under Template on the right, and we make it to full width page, and we click on Update. All right, now that will automatically disappear. Now you're still thinking, Tyler, but these really cool websites like Airbnb and Skype, they don't have home at the top of their well, this does say welcome home, but you know what I mean. It doesn't have home at the top of the websites like this one does. How do we make it look cool like theirs? Well, that's pretty easy too. Remember the page, the Beaver Builder that we just installed like 5 minutes ago? You just click on Page Builder, and that is, the plugin. That is the added functionality of it, and it automatically disappears like magic. All right, so we have here, and before we get into it, I want to explain to you like what all of this means. It looks, like there's a lot of stuff here, but it's super duper easy. So we have row layouts, and we have different columns, and when we add this, it adds rows. So how do you think about columns and rows? Let's look at how to think about that, because it's going to make your website experience so much easier once you have a conceptual understanding of all of this. So we can think of this as one row, and remember, rows go left to right and columns go up and down, like these columns. And you're like, Tyler, I know this. Obviously, we're learning this in the 2nd grade. All right, just a refresher, just in case there's anyone out there. So we have rows, and you can think about, like someone rowing. It goes left to right, and columns. So this is one row right here, this white box, with 2 columns. So there's an image on the left and text on the right. This is one row. This whole blue thing goes from left to right, and 2 columns. So one on the left, one on the right. Same thing with Airbnb. We have one row right here and 2 different columns, one on the left, one on the right. For this one, we have one row and 1 column because there's just centered text in the middle. 2 columns, and this is one row, 3 columns, 1, 2, 3. This is one row, 2 columns. All right, you get the point, I think. So this is one row with 1 column because it's just an image that goes all the way across and text that is in the middle. This text can go to the left or it could go to the right, but it would still be one row in 1 column. All right, so that is that. Now, if you want all of these, this is the homepage that we're gonna make. But obviously, you can make any website you want by just looking up and dividing. Go to a website that you like and say, okay, this is how many rows and this is how many columns, and you make it. It's super easy. So we're gonna look at this one. This one's kind of a trick. Is it one column or is it two columns? Can you guess? I'll give you a second or two. This is actually one row, one column, because this image is not, this image goes all the way across, and this is text just on the left side. And if that doesn't make sense, then that's okay. I'm going to explain it in just a second. What is this one? This one is actually two columns because there is an image in the background and then an invisible column right here and text right here. We have an invisible column here so that it gives space to the text over here, and so on. All right, so we're going to be creating this, and to get all of the pictures, you can go to, just click on the lesson, and you can download all of the pictures where it says download image files right here. You click on it, it'll make a zip, you unzip it, save it to your desktop so you know where it is. And then you'll have all of these images. Some people are like, well, I don't want those images. I want other images. So you can obviously take your own images, or you can go to a website called pixabay.com, Pixabay.com, and this is a free image website. So there are some really good images here. And if you want like a full width image, an image that goes all the way across your website, and you want text over it, you have to think about, okay, there's a subject on the left side and there would be text on the right. So this one maybe not be good if you want text over it because you won't be able to see it. But this one would be good because you can have a bird on the right side and text on the right, or a bug below and text up top. So just think about where you would place the text. All right, so that is everything. With that, let's begin creating our website. So once you have all of your images ready, we can go ahead and drag in some rows and columns. So no matter what, we're dragging in rows, but this is so how many columns there are. If we drag in one column, we'll see it goes all the way across. If we drag in two columns, click, hold, and drag, we'll see that it's split up into two different columns. All right, have I beat that point into you enough? I hope I have. I just want you to learn. Okay, so we can go ahead and go up to this wrench right here. Let me do that again. So we'll drag in this one column, and we go up here to the wrench. And now this is what we're going to do first, is we are going to put in this image right here in the background. So this is an image that goes all the way across. All right, so we're going to make it full width, because if we don't do full width, then there's going to be spacing on the side, white spacing that we don't want. All right, and let's add in the image. So under background, let's select photo, and let's select our photo and click on upload files right here, not media library, upload files, and select files. And we're going to want to upload one called Hero Home. Maybe yours is different, but mine is Hero Home. Select it and select the photo. All right, and we're going to see that it adds really small, so we can't see it that much. But if we scroll up and we go under height and we make it full height, it will be the size of our browser window, which is really cool. So there's one more thing, the position of the photo. So do we want it to be centered, or do we want it to be left, or do we want it to be top left? This is where the focus of the picture is. We are just going to go to right bottom, since she lives in the right bottom area of the picture. And just because the picture is white doesn't mean it's not way over here also. All right, so once we do that, we can press save. The next thing that we're going to do is we are going to add in this Google Cardboard headline right here. So we can just go ahead and add content, and we're going to be under basic modules right here. We're going to be adding in a heading. So click, hold, and drag. Don't drag it up here or down here. Drag it into the row. All right, now we're going to be just putting in the text. So you can just type whatever you want. And you can move this over if you want to. And we can put in the size. I'm going to say this is 42 pixels big. And it makes it bigger. And I'm going to say that it's light. So it makes it less bold. And we can change the color. I'm going to change it to 0A, 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 0A. All right, once we do that, we can press save, but right now you can think about there is padding around this. And by padding, I mean this doesn't go all the way to the left side. There's some space, there's some invisible space up here, to the right, to the bottom, and on the left. If we click on advanced, we can modify this space. And because we're going to be putting text underneath right here with just a little bit of space, we want no space at the bottom right here, because if we had a lot of space, this text would go all the way down, and we don't want that. So for this, if you click on advanced, we can, on the bottom, we can make this 0. So there's 0 space at the bottom. And then we can press save. All right, next we're going to add more content. And again, what we're going to do is we're going to add this text right here. So we can just copy it if we want. And this is just going to be, if we click on add content, and on the right, we can drag in text editor. And we're going to drag it in this box. Don't go down here or up here, in the box. And we're going to paste in our text, and make sure to paste it as plain text so it doesn't have any weird formatting. So we're going to click on that, and we're just going to paste it. That is Control V on a PC or Command V on a Mac. All right, once we do that, we're going to change the font size. So I'm going to change this font size to, let's say, 18. And I'm going to change this one to 18 also. All right, so it looks a little bit bigger. And then I'm going to click on advanced, because remember there's padding up here, 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 and to the right. Padding is also called margin. So a margin and padding is a little different, but for our purposes, we can just think of it as the same. I'll explain the difference in a little while. All right, so I'm going to put 0 at the top, and it's going to get closer. Then we're going to click on save. And there we are. We are done with this. So that was pretty easy. The next thing that we're going to do is we are going to add in this cool orange bar right here. So what we do, how many rows and columns is it? So it's obviously one row. How many columns? It is just one column with text aligning on the left. So I'm going to go ahead and just copy this. And you can go to getacardboard.com to copy any of this text if you want. And we are going to add content. And we're going to click on row layouts and drag it in one column. And don't drag it here. You got to wiggle it a little bit. I know, very like scientific, huh? Wiggle it a little bit and put it below. All right, once we do that, we can then edit the row settings. and we're going to make it full width. Let me just show you what happens if I don't make it full width. So we're going to change it and make it a color background. And we already have our color, so it's an orange. So we can, make it any color we want, but ours is orange, and the color code for it is FF6E40. All right, so that makes that nice little orange. And we're gonna go to advanced, and we're gonna change the padding on the top and the bottom to 10. 10 and 10, and that's gonna make it not as tall. All right, once we do that, we can also go to save. And we have saved it, but we need that headline in there. So we're going to add content and drag in a headline. Once we drag in a headline, and again, I didn't add any of, I didn't make it this full width. So let's actually cancel out of this headline and let's make it full width. I was trying to do a demonstration, but I forgot it. So let's go back to row settings and let's make it full width so it goes all the way across. And now you understand what it is to be fixed and what it is to be full. Full goes all the way across. All right, now what we can do is add content and go to heading and drag in a heading right in there. And we can just paste in our text. Immersive experiences for everyone, and we can change how big it is. We'll make that 30. We can make it a light font, and we can make it the color white so it just pops out a little bit. All right, and we can press done and save. So we're done with that, and our website is really looking color coordinated and it's looking very good. So let's continue. Next, we have to add in this, and remember, this is one row with 2 different columns. Even though this goes all the way across this image, it's 2 columns because we need some sort of spacer. All right, so let's add in that. So we add in content, add content, and go to row layouts and click on 2 columns, click, hold, and drag, and kind of jiggle it down and make sure it doesn't go here, it goes all the way down. And now we want to edit the row settings, and we want it to be full width. All right, and after we've done that, we also want to add in an image. So under background, click photo and select photo and upload files and select files. Then we're gonna upload the one that says get viewer. Open that up and select photo. All right, once we do that, we can see that it's not very big, so we need to add in more space, more padding. And this is the difference between, I'm gonna show you the difference between padding and margin. So if we add in more padding, let's add maybe 100 to the top and 100 to the bottom. We can see that we have added more padding. Padding you can think of like if you have fat on your body, that's like a lot of your padding, or maybe a lot of muscles, then you have a lot of padding. Where margin is the distance away from you. So even though you have muscles around your body, with the margin, that's like people getting away from you. So we can press 50 and we can see that it added all this space. So that's like, adding distance between things, and this is adding distance internally. So that's the difference between padding and margin, but just do 100, 100 and press save. All right, now that we're done with that, let's add in a text editor on the right. So add content, text editor, and just drag it into this column. Now we need all of that text, so I'm just gonna cheat a little bit and copy it here. And I'm going to paste it as plain text. All right, there we go. And once I do that, I'm going to highlight this, get a viewer, and I'm going to make it into a heading 3. So it's a little bolder. And I'm going to add in a space because we don't see a space right here. So I'm going to add in a space. And there we have it. And then we have get a viewer, and I'm going to make this into a link. So I'm just going to click on link, and I'm going to link it to a page that already exists. So we can link it to existing content, and we can link it to our services page. All right, then press save. And we are all done with that one. So that was pretty easy. So now let's add in more. So what are we going to build next? We are going to build this one right here. All right, so I'm just going to copy this for now. We'll use that later. And let's add in content. And let's drag in a row with 2 columns. All right, and now let's go to click on the wrench and let's make it full width. And let's add in a photo. All right, let's select the photo. And this photo is called Get Cardboard. Get Cardboard. There it is. And we will select our photo. All right, so we're going to go to advanced and we're going to add in more padding. So we're going to add in 110 and 110. Gives a little more padding to the top and bottom. And we are going to save that. All right, now we're going to add in a text editor. And make sure to drag it right into the left column. And we're going to paste in all of that, but make sure you paste it as plain text. All right, now we can add in a space to it and make this an H3. And for learn more, we can just link it and link it to the about. Add link and press save. But now we can see that this doesn't go on 2 lines when this does go on 2 lines. And I think it looks a little better on 2 lines. We could even add maybe more words on the 2 different lines. So how do we do that? And that's why we added another row, because you can actually click, hold, and drag the rows. And it will make it so it goes on 2 different lines. So that's pretty cool. All right, let's press not done yet. Let's add more content. And the next thing that we're going to do is we are going to build this really cool looking call to action right here. So the way we do that is we can add content, and we're going to add a row, and it's going to be 1 column. So we click, hold, and drag and kind of jiggle it. And we are going to edit this by clicking on the wrench and make it full width and make the background type a color. And we are going to make this color orange. So it's going to be the same orange, and it's going to be FF6E40. And that's going to give us that exact orange color. All right, so we're not done with this yet. What we want to have happen inside here is we want all of that text to be white. So how do we make it all white? So what we do for under colors here, we can make it white. And for link color, we can make it white. So that's going to be the color of the links, and that's going to be the color of the text. All right, so we are done with that. Let's press save. And let's add in more content. So this is going to be a heading. So we're just going to click, hold, and drag it right in the center there. And we're going to actually copy that text. So what are you waiting for? And we're going to paste it right in there. And this is going to be 40 pixels tall. And the font weight is actually going to be bold, and the font color is going to be white. And for alignment, it's going to be, you guessed it, center. All right, we also are going to have a subheadline. And so we're going to put yes on this option. And we're going to copy that subheadline. All right, we're going to paste that in there. We're going to make it 18 pixels, and we're going to make it white. And it should show up. There it goes. All right, so we are done with that, and now we need to save it. And now we need our actual call to action. So we need this learn about us and these arrows. How do we get those cool arrows in there? All right, so to do that, we just simply drag in a text editor. So we add content and click on text editor and kind of drag it in there. And once we do that, we can say whatever it was here, learn about us. So just type in learn about us. And again, that text down here is white because that's the color that we made it for the settings, for the row settings. All right, and once we do that, we can actually, if we click on this toolbar, we can actually put in a special character, and we can put the right pointing. All right, and we can make this 20 pixels, and we can center it, and we can add a link. And this is going to go to the About Us, add link, save. And look at that. That is beautiful. To save your page, press done and publish changes. And now we are done with creating the desktop version of our homepage. That was really awesome, and you learned a lot. Good job. Let's mark that progress off. So we can complete it right here. And we can watch the progress progress. All right, now let's go back and see what else we have to do.